Oh, Michelle Obama said that. I haven't seen it. I guess she wrote a book. She got paid a lot of money to write a book. And they always insist that you come up with controversial. Well, I'll give you a little controversy back. I'll never forgive him for what he did to our United States military by not funding it properly. It was depleted. Everything was old and tired. And I came in and I had to fix it.
Well, that from last hour, the president asked about Michelle Obama, sidestepped the answer and went after her husband. The former First Lady blasting President Trump in a new book, and there's a lot in here, too. Back with America's A-Team, Ed Henry, Shelby Holliday, Judith Miller here live in New York. Here is just one, and there are many, by the way, on screen. What if someone with an unstable mind loaded a gun and drove to Washington? What if that person went looking for our girls? Donald Trump, with his loud and reckless innuendos, was putting my family's safety at risk, and for this, I'd never forgive him.
I can't blame her. I think she's a sympathetic figure. I think that to just blow it off as she was paid a lot of money to write a book, she's talking about the birther controversy. She has every right to be angry about that as a human being. And frankly, I think this is something that people on all sides forget in these political debates, that there are real human beings who are the politicians in some cases and are the people behind the politicians. And so Donald Trump, as a businessman, was attacking Barack Obama. He's got a wife. He's got young daughters. They felt like there were real consequences there. And I tie it to our colleague Tucker Carlson, you know, who people forget. They love to just attack Tucker and then take it to the next level, go to his home and basically try to terrorize his family. How dare they do that? And so I don't blame Michelle Obama for being angry about the attacks she and her husband faced, and I certainly don't blame Tucker for being pretty fired up for that nastiness.
Pretty fair and balanced.
I think that's very fair. I also think this book also is about so much more than just President Trump, although that's what we will hear about for the next few weeks. And Michelle Obama has these massive events planned in Chicago with Oprah, in New York, in L.A., so this is not the end of the Trump-Michelle Obama.
Not just events. This is the United Center in Chicago.
Right.
It's the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. It's the LA Forum in California.
Right. So, I mean, I don't think we've heard the end of Trump versus Michelle Obama. Could get uglier, but she's also writing about how she conceived her daughters through IVF, and she's writing about her personal life, and she's telling a story that, as we can tell, thousands and thousands of people want to go see. And as Ed said in the break, a lot of women are curious to hear what she has to say at this point in time.
Mm-hmm. I think so, too. I think the fact that most of the book is really about her story, her relationship with her husband, their struggle, the fact that she talks openly about couples therapy, about trying to balance a political life with a personal obligation to children and to family. All of that is going to resonate. Michelle Obama was always one of the smartest operatives for her husband, and you can see that now in the way they're rolling out this book. Politics? She could if she wanted to. I'm just not sure she wants to.
I think we have to understand what's the intent of the book tour and coming out with Oprah and going to these big stadiums indoors, and we'll see how many people they get to turn up too. Yeah. Oprah's a big draw. She's a big draw as well. I just want to point your attention to one thing. I think it was the third debate in Las Vegas, and I'm just reading from the AP because I haven't seen the book, but she writes about Donald Trump following Hillary Clinton around the stage. I mean, this is stunning. She talks about trying to diminish her presence, and Trump's message is, "I can hurt you and get away with it." That's dark.
Yeah, I mean, I gave Michelle Obama credit in the first part of the book. Some of this stuff, I think, you're reading into things. I don't know if that's the way she felt. I can't take it away from her.
According
but
to the
to
AP,
then make a grand sweeping.
Just be clear. According to the AP, those words in the book are in darkened print. I can hurt you and get away with it.
I think that's...
We're reading,
That's the way a lot of women felt when they looked at that moment. I was watching with a group of people, and I remember looking around at the women watching the television. I think everyone that I was with had that same feeling. Why is he stalking her? Why is he hovering over her? It was a very powerful moment, and I believe that's one of the most powerful moments in this book, which I haven't read yet.
There's a lot more to say. I'm sure it's going to...